Hey everyone, hope everything is going well. I found this out via Rebel Capitalist, George Gammon. Once again, I love his channel. These charts from CNBC, these charts show what has Moody's worried about regional banks, including US Bank and Fifth Third. Now, a lot of people in America may be using these banks. I use one of them. And they're talking about these regional banks that they got downgraded. And the industry still is experiencing issues with the banking system because what happened with Silicon Valley Bank? But this is just the beginning, Silicon Valley Bank. And we'll probably see more issues in the next year and a half, a whole cascade. And it's going to be very important if you're a high net worth individual to put your money in the right bank because, in my opinion, a lot of banks are going to go bust. And they're talking about on CNBC shrinking margins as U.S. interest rate have risen. The rate of increase for the cost of deposits has outpaced that of loan yields. Okay. The cost of deposits here. Okay, 1.5%. And if you're looking at the median loan yield versus the federal funds rate, you're not making anything. Because what happens is if you borrow, the banks, they make money borrowing short and lending long into longer term illiquid securities. It works in a situation, 2020, okay? Where, okay, Fed funds rate is basically zero and the loan yield is 3.7%. You're making money. What happens when the loan yield and the Fed funds rate is pretty much flat? Banks are not going to make as much money. And what's going to happen is with the Fed funds rate so high, and you're looking at the 2-year yield, for instance, that's what, close to 4.8%. Let's look at the 2-year yield. 2-year treasury yield, okay? It's 4.82% approximately. You're lending to long-term illiquid securities, you're not going to be making money. So what does that mean? I've been looking at this on YouTube. Banks are not going to lend as much. And what's going to happen to companies that need the money? They can't continue to roll over the debt. And if they want to roll over the debt, they're going to have to pay more. This is the problem that's most likely going to happen with the real estate market, where commercial real estate, where not many people are going to work. I've stated this numerous times. People don't go to work usually on Mondays and Fridays. Some do, but a lot of companies don't require you to come in 5 days a week. And on top of it, some people don't even go to work at all. They close down the office. I was talking to a neighbor I haven't talked to in 2 years. He told me that, yeah, I used to work downtown, but I just work from home now. How many companies are going to be doing that? Or instead of two uh, floors they rent, they're going to rent one floor because they're going to say, hey, IT, all of you don't need to show up to work. Or the, not marketing, but the accounting and finance team, you could work from home. What's going to go on? This is a huge problem for our economy. And something to note, you could see the shrinking margins. You could see the roof is about to collapse under. Now, it's not going to collapse this year, in my opinion. Sometime next year, The signs are there. And in my opinion, I would look at banks that have very strong balance sheets and could withstand a very harsh crash, something like 2008. Now, that's going to be the hard part. Which bank is safe to put your money at if you are an entrepreneur and you have over a couple $100,000? You got to make payroll. What if your bank goes under? There were concerns for people with Silicon Valley Bank who had the money at Silicon Valley Bank that they couldn't make payroll. Eventually, I think the FDIC bailed them out. What happens if it happens throughout the economy? This is something business owners need to think about. It sounds insane, but you got to have a backup plan. Got to look at what banks are safe and what banks are not. Anyways, guys and gals, let me know what you think. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Thank you. Bye.